Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of House of Commons. My name is Pascal Atoma, and we still have our special guest. By my right,
Ifeinwa Onachiko.
And Yosuji, House of Commons.
Ike Onoha, House of Commons.
And of course, El Didi Mola, the House of Commons.
House of Commons.
Yes, sir.
Bring it in.
Oh, hell, Chideke.
My coffee just spilled.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's excited at Commons.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like coffee.
Is my fault?
You see, it's black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Yeah, you're fine. You're okay. They'll clean it.
That's coffee.
Yeah, they'll clean it up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our topic for today is a little bit controversial, delicate, sensitive, so especially to the Americans. They might be saying, what are these Africans talking about? So our topic today is polygamy versus monogamy, right?
Right.
Polygamy versus monogamy.
Can I say this is why Nigerian girls aren't married? Because as you can see, I'm just cleaning up this one.
Did you? You
So
went there,
good,
really?
yeah, you went
Oh,
there.
really? Okay.
Okay, let's bring it
On
back.
another note.
Let's go back. So today our topic is polygamy versus monogamy. Say the American way.
Monogamy.
Monogamy. But as an African we say monogamy. Okay, so I'm gonna start from our special guest. What do you think about polygamy versus monogamy? What do you think the word? Where do you think the word should?
Should we structure it a little bit different so it's a better question? Like,
Okay, got structure.
is monogamy realistic? And also, do you think it's realistic to be in a monogamous relationship? Do you think polygamy is wrong? Do you think
Polygamy is
polygamy should be accepted more? You know?
In short English, when we call it summarize, this polygamy versus monogamy.
Oh, okay.
All right, come on, sister, carry go.
Okay, well, my parents are polygamous, but me personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't judge anyone who felt like, you know, that's what they needed to do or that's the life path that they want, but I would not ever marry a man who felt he needed to have another wife and another one and another one and another one and another one.
Are you gonna keep
And
going?
another one.
Okay, good. What about you?
Well, I wholeheartedly think that polygamy is the way to go. And the reason why I'm saying, especially for, I'm serious, especially for the black community as well. I think that I know my father will be like, what the hell are you talking about? Because both of my parents had parents who were polygamous, but that's what they did back in those days. That was the norm back in those days, especially people who are affluent who have money. But anyways, my personal belief is that I don't see anything wrong with polygamy, especially in this day and age and this time. I'm not saying that it's the way or the best way, but when you're comparing it to monogamy, it's, for a lot of people in this era, it seems to be a lot more of a commitment. It seems to be a lot more weight to it. It's probably financially more to your advantage to be in a polygamous sort of situation, because it's not just one income, it's several incomes that are being provided.
You're not serious.
I'm just being honest.
You're not serious.
I'm being honest, because if we're gonna be real about it, and then and this is one last thing before, because I've got more, but when you look at, as a black man looking in the African American community, African American community, I think it would behoove us to seriously consider that, especially considering the situations that we're in, to seriously consider the idea of it. It's not like we're doing that great anyways. Why not?
Right?
Without
You
it.
already did. Might as well just shoot yourself. Or something like that.
Well,
that's that extreme.
Okay, are you done?
Well, this is what I'll say. I'm going to approach it from different angles. First of all, I was raised that polygamy is wrong, monogamy is the way to go. Biblically, that's how I was raised. But as a grown man, as an adult, I think I have a very different opinion. If America can make it legal for same-sex to marry, I see the future of America going towards polygamy, and I would not be shocked if in the short or near future polygamy is made okay.
Really?
Yes, I would not be shocked. And well, as a man, I think it's a legal way to justify having more than one, being with more than one woman, and I think it's a good thing. It's a great thing for a man.
I think
It's
so.
a wonderful, beautiful thing. King Solomon had how many wives and how many concubines? I know you want to. Everybody's gonna say, hey, back in the days, the law. I mean, the law back in the time of before Jesus, it was the law. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Manhood is still manhood. See, like we had an episode where we talked about. You want? I want to break this down. You want me to stop and so Eddie can talk, so we'll come back. Okay.
Go. We just wanted to know,
Thank
are
you
you
very
for
well.
polygamy?
Very much, my sister.
Yeah. We just wanted
Did
to
I
know.
answer the question?
Yeah, you
though?
answered. You say you were
Thank
for
you.
polygamy.
Did you say you're single or married? Because that is similar move now. It can
Let's proceed.
make you qualify.
But even if he's married, he does for polygamy.
Oh, flesh and blood is not
You know what I mean?
Okay.
What I'll say is monogamy, as you mentioned, monogamy is the way that's taught. And my perspective is completely different. Mine is marriage as a whole. I don't even know if that's the answer, right? But that's another topic. What I will say though, do I see polygamy becoming legalized in the United States of America? I think within the next 10 years.
Wow.
The reason why I say that is this. A lot of times, religion and is it faith or fate, whatever it is used as the forefront of moral values. One thing that a lot of people try to shy away from is the fact that society always finds a way to adjust itself with rules and regulations. Statistically, there are more women than men right now. Statistically, there are more single women than men. For every one guy, there's 7 women that want a man.
That justifies polygamy.
Hold on. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that justifies it. I'm not saying that justifies it. But after a while, when society realizes that it needs to balance itself out, just like in certain countries where they said if you had a daughter, you could not have a daughter, right? And now they're noticing this difference in their society where they now need women, right? So they found a way to make it a law. You have to re-inject women into that society because they see the imbalance. I think because there's one guy to like 7 women, eventually the United States is going to look at the society and they're going to change the format to favor everyone getting some kind of satisfaction. You can say that's a lie, but we never thought we'd get to this point of legalizing marijuana, right?
Oh, I thought
Or
it was
even same sex.
Exactly.
Okay, well for me, my father had a best friend, my father's best friend, closest friend, he married 3 wives. And then one good advice he gave my dad when my father was alive before he died, because he died before my dad, was he called him and said, Tio, that's his nickname, Tio, don't you ever, if you love yourself, go into polygamy.
Yeah.
My father stood with that advice, took that advice to heart. So till my father died, he didn't marry another.
Was your father happily married to your mother? Though?
Yes, my father was very happy.
Okay, that's an exception to the norm.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Now, me growing
He
up.
was Izzy though.
Yeah?
He was Izzy. So that's...
But they take
That's the license to marry more than one.
I know.
Let me come. For me, I don't care which culture we're judging it from, what America is going to be tomorrow, what America is going to be tomorrow. I don't support polygamy. Because the polygamy comes with a lot of problems. My grandfather was married to 4 wives. My grandfather's great uncle, my grandfather's younger brother was married to 9.
Wow.
9 wives. Right? So I witnessed when my grandfather died what happened. So polygamy is actually, for me, it's a very selfish, self-centered game for the man. Because they don't care the problem that causing for the 2 women.
But I think this problem,
I'm
either way,
coming now.
okay.
Or the problem coming for the 2 women, or for the 3 women, or for the 4 women. But when they die, that's when the real problem sets in.
Okay, can I come in real quick?
She was yearning.
Were you yearning to say something?
She was yearning.
Yeah, so
Please,
I'm
got
not in
balance.
support of polygamy. I will never support polygamy anytime, any day.
Okay.
Okay. Is it you support polygamy? You?
I'm neutral, either ways, I'm happy.
You do.
I don't support polygamy.
You don't?
Nope.
No,
Never
I
said I
thought that's
did.
what, okay,
Nope.
okay. Because I was just curious as to it, since you're like, yes, I support it. How do you feel about in reverse? Because polygamy does work both ways,
It does.
where a woman can have several husbands.
Now this is real. This
How
is real
would you
talk.
feel about
You
being-
woman,
Yeah.
I don't think polygamy works that way.
Actually, it does. There are some.
Hold on.
There are some cultures that already exist where
some of our
women
audience
marry-
did not hear what you said because the noise was there. Can you ask
Please,
that
say
question
it
again?
again.
Sure.
Clearly.
Just, for you, especially those that support polygamy,
Uh-huh.
how would you feel about being the second or the fourth husband? Because there are some cultures already where women do and can marry more than one husband.
In the same house.
It's on Earth.
Are you asking
It
me?
is
same
on
household.
Earth.
Are you asking? Are you
In this
asking?
planet.
Are you
In the same
asking me?
household.
It's on
I mean,
Earth.
you're
In the same household.
Yes.
Show me that culture. What
Please.
culture is that?
No,
Tell me.
they-
You
Google
don't want me to.
Huh?
I
Google
will.
it.
I-
Please
I'm not
show me.
doing anything because it's
No,
unreal.
my sister.
You know why?
They
You
do.
know why? Okay, Google it. While you're Googling, can you say that I'm going to jump in real quick?
Okay.
No, Google Biko.
No, please, you can't Google it. Why? She has to because she's not talking
Because I
now.
know
Can
it
you
does
talk?
exist.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm ready to go. How you guys doing?
And it looks like you are very happy with it.
Can he go, please?
You would like
to
the money more than one husband?
I'm not marrying more than one husband. However, it just seems to kind of ruffle some
You know why?
feathers, so
Oh,
that's
no,
okay.
pleasing.
No, not at all. Let me just say this. When I said that, I agree with polygamy. First of all, I hear what Pascal is saying because my dad told me, don't you ever enter that thing because he saw what happened to his dad with polygamy. The reason why, and both of my grandfathers didn't, their stories didn't end well, and primarily because of polygamy. So I don't advocate it for it in that sense, but in the American context, to me, I think it makes practical sense to do that. That's just my personal opinion. At least to not acknowledge it, but at least to consider it. That's my point.
But the reality of the matter
Can I ask
is,
you a question? No,
the reality of the matter is that it's already happening.
Okay,
with
so
the Mormons,
don't
with
be-
the Mormons in Utah.
No. I'm talking about an African. I'm talking about
It's already happening.
I'm talking about an
Polygamy
African American.
is in
I'm
America.
talking about an African American.
Okay.
Why do you think it should be very practical in America?
Well, as far as the African American community, I think it might be something we may want to consider. It may not be the answer, but maybe
Have you dated an African American woman before?
plenty of times.
And you think an African American woman would ever agree to go into a situation where
That's not what we're discussing.
Can I ask
That's
him a
not what
better
we're discussing.
Question? Can I
We're
ask
just
him a better question?
Mhm.
It's already hard enough marrying one woman.
right.
For those of my friends who I know who are married, it's
Yeah.
already married. I love my sisters dearly. I love my African American sisters. Polygamy, marrying 5 of my sisters.
Okay, cool.
Because I love my sisters.
So it's called polyandry. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, Paulie, I've heard of that.
Where is that happening?
Kenya.
African man.
In Kenya.
Yes.
That is a lie.
That is very true.
Hold on.
Kenya. Actually, that's where I first heard of it. Was in Africa.
I don't think the African men that are watching this would be happy with.
Hold on, go ahead.
Kenya, Tibet, Nepal, India. Okay, that's it so far.
Okay, that's fine.
It's
What's
rare.
the population of men to women in that country? It has to be 1 to 1.
I mean, we weren't discussed. It doesn't really have to be population.
No, true.
Of course it does.
You proved it.
No,
You proved
so
it.
That was my whole
so-
premise.
How
That was my whole premise.
Okay, I'm the moderator here. Okay, who
Wait,
wants to
let me just say this.
Okay,
That
go
was
ahead.
the reason why that's important. What he's saying is that was my whole premise in saying that
Population.
it was because of the population and the numbers game, and then also the state of our people in America, which is what I said. It's not a bad idea for us to at least consider and think about.
Okay, here's.
I'm not saying it's the answer.
Hold on.
I'm not saying it's the answer. I'm not saying you're supposed to do polygamy. I don't really agree with polygamy.
But you
I'm
just agreed with
What
me.
I'm saying is-
Come on, commit.
Okay, hold on.
Commit.
Alphabet, go ahead.
You made one statement that because your grandfather was polygamous, that's why there was issues after he died with the people that were alive, the children, right? I had an uncle that had 3 girls. When he died, they still had problems. Do you know that the family, the brothers and sisters of this man who died, will not let the kids come because they're girls? They believe only boys have the right to the father's name or property. And this man has wealth. He has things. He has houses. The house, beautiful mansion they built. Nobody steps in there because the family is against the daughters coming to claim that. Is that right? He wasn't polygamous, right? No.
It's not
So
right.
problem can come. It does not mean because you're polygamist that you will have this kind of problems when you die. So don't make that kind of statement. That's what I don't agree with.
Okay, you don't agree with that, but can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something on that? See, the probability of one who died in a monogamous relationship the children having problem and the probability of what in a polygamous relationship.
Oh yeah, that's a wrap.
What is
I will agree with that probability, but
don't.
as a blanket statement, it's not true.
Okay, okay.
There can be problems anywhere.
Okay, but let me
That's very true.
let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question. In the history of all the people that you know, name one man who died in a polygamous relationship that there was no chaos when he died.
That's you're going back to the generalization.
Yeah.
Because
Do you know
the
anyone?
same way you can say in the history of people that were not polygamous, how many of them died and there was no problem?
It's
about the same thing. So that's not
That's what I'm saying. What did you have to
Okay,
say?
I found another tribe
Okay.
in Nigeria, the Irigwe people.
Where?
It says Irigwe people of Nigeria.
Where are they? What village is that?
Irigwe.
Well,
I don't know
is
what village.
you know what?
It says Irigwe. They used to do it until it was outlawed in 1968.
Is this week?
What
Okay,
was the
good.
population?
Well,
is that a city where men went to go work? Because there's oil. I'm sorry to cut you off. There's oil fields, gold mines.
So does there have to be like some kind of like
Population makes sense. If I'm asking about population,
but it
it makes a difference.
But it did happen.
Okay, yeah,
Go ahead.
you got a point, right? Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for proving the point that there are women that do the same thing. And what was it called now?
Polyandry.
Polyandry. Okay, fine. It's great.
Polyester, whatever.
But in the true word or how you know what marriage to be, okay? If that woman marries multiple men, that means she's providing for the household, right? Those men are housewives, are house husbands, right?
Not
They
necessarily.
are homemakers.
Not
So
necessarily,
what are they?
no.
They are also working and being providers more or less than the woman. So look, I think it's just a statement, but in reality it does not really exist. The only people that could do that, even back in the days, was people like Queen Amina of Zaria, Cleopatra, people that had power and wealth and authority. Normal working class woman, no normal working class woman can be polygamous and it will work.
But
in
it
this
wasn't.
day and age.
Here's the thing: you're assuming that it was all about the women taking care of the men, but it wasn't always the case. Sometimes it's like, especially in those hunter-gatherer societies, the men are out there providing still for the woman. One might be going out there and hunting and bringing the food. The other one is building.
And the other man will come and chop the animal while I hunt.
Calm down, calm down. Yes, that's how it works. That was the hunter-gatherer. One went to hunt, one is
And the other man is sitting at home, supporting his leg, and eating the food that I hunted.
Let me say something, right?
he's building the
I don't know
house,
how
he's taking
practical
care of
that
the
can be.
children.
I don't see it.
I don't see that happening in this our
And
own
she says in
generation.
Africa.
Yes.
Right? I don't see a situation whereby somebody will say you are marrying me and you're marrying A and you're marrying Ike and we are your husbands.
It was
My
a problem
sister-
now.
my sister-
Thanks for leaving me out there. If you know the game, it's not happening. She mine, bruh. Everybody's dying. Let me say this.
So I don't see it happening. So this time I'm gonna defend the women. If I'm a woman, I won't go into that relationship.
Here's my thing. Here's one thing I'll say, because I started off by saying, to me, marriage is the question, right?
Yeah.
I truly believe people should get married when they're older, right? Men, I think men especially should get married when we're actually at ease, when we're not so eager to go out hunting, right? I think that's when we're better husbands. That's just my perspective. But monogamy and polygamy have a lot to do. They are marriage, right? If we're just talking in general, one man to one woman. We're not saying monogamy or polygamy anymore because that is literally marriage, right? You're married to more than one woman. If we're talking about the basics of one man to one woman and one man to multiple women, no marriage involved. Do you think that makes sense? That a man needs more than one woman?
Do I think a man needs more than one woman?
Yeah.
You're the man.
No, what's your
Okay, I
perspective?
guess the question is, how do you feel
About
about that statement?
About
That the
my
man,
man.
No, about a man being
If he's
with
your man,
more
yeah,
women.
your
if
man.
he was my
Okay, maybe
man
your
and
man.
has multiple women, then he's not my man and we're not together.
Okay, good. So we're clear on that. Let me tell you, we had an episode where we talked about sex
Sex.
and side chicks. That was the point,
Yeah.
okay? And we talked about the value of sex or the need and want. Remember? I remember exactly what I said about need and want when it comes to sex. Sex for a man is a need. For a woman, it's not a need. It's a
Did you
want.
read the comments?
What kind of
Did you read the
nonsense
comments
is
on
that?
that?
What kind of nonsense is that?
Okay, let me break it
That
down.
women don't need
Go, let me
sex.
break it down. But I want you to repeat that because
Because
there are some comments on
if you
there
say that, that
should-
means that like if you're saying women don't need sex or whatever, then the man is just using women to just satisfy his own.
That's what I did ask that
But
question.
that's not what I'm saying though. Let me break it down. You know what a need is for a man? A need is something that is very intricate, that is necessary for him to function at his 100%. And for a woman doesn't need sex to function at 100%. A woman wants sex.
May I please
That's
interject?
not-
Hold on,
that's
be
not-
cool.
Let me finish.
because- no,
Be cool. May I
Please,
interject?
hold on,
Please, let me finish breaking it down. For a woman, you guys go through periods. There's a reason for that. You need a time of cleansing where your body is not supposed to be having sex. Some women do have sex during period. Men don't have period. Men don't need to be warmed up to sex because of our functionality. That's not. Men have testosterone. Women have hormones. There's a reason.
Women have testosterone as well, just not the same levels.
Thank you. Not the same level because a
Yeah.
man is a man, a woman is a woman. There's a
Yeah,
difference,
right.
okay? So definitely, there's a clarity in both.
Let me-
Women
okay, hold on.
have
I just-
sex
I just want-
based
hold
on
on.
feeling. A man can have, well, okay, there are shades and levels. Most women have to have their feelings involved to have sex. And someone, let me not put words in your mouth, okay?
Are you trying to say that men doesn't have to have their feelings involved to
I
have
mean,
sex?
That's what he's
May
saying.
I
He
please-
just said that men are just
You have to give
short.
with
I don't want to.
May I please
There's no feelings.
Can I
I don't
just,
want to.
well, I just want to say something just very, really,
Go ahead.
short and just very specific to your point about men needing, what is that? Men need sex
Men-
to be at 100%, suppose, yeah? I can just count a number of situations, specifically with athletes, who refrain from having
Of course,
sex
to
so they
perform.
can be at their best. So for you to say that men need sex to be at their best, athletes who are like the example
I
of
agree
just
with you.
strong
May I please interject?
have all
please?
just
May I please
declared
interject?
that they
But I have
don't
to
need
come back
sex
and
to
clarify
be
that.
Please, may I please
100%.
interject?
Okay, interject.
First of all, she's correct, but it's also been proven that does not have any effect on your actual physical performance. So let me just
At the
say,
end of the day, it's all mental, yeah?
it's a mental thing. So let me just
Same
put
thing.
that out there.
It's not a mental thing.
It is mental. It's a proven fact that it is.
You can use yourself.
You
and do
having an
experiment.
ejaculation
You want me to tell you how
has
you
no
can use
effect
yourself?
on your
You want me to tell you you can
performance.
use yourself and do
That's what scientifically they're saying. But anyway,
scientific, but I'm telling
let
you,
me
you can
just-
use yourself and do the experiment. Very easy. Go to the gym tomorrow. hold on. I'm telling you from experience. Go to the gym tomorrow. Go and do bench press. Mark what you bench pressed. Don't have sex for a week, right? But eat good. Go back. Do bench press. I see what
It's
you
mental.
bench press. No, it's not mental.
No.
But I'm not lying.
I hear what he's
No, you
saying.
have a point. Look,
No, I'm
at this
not
point.
Can I say something, please? Please.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to say is, because it's our nature. I don't know about it being a need for us to have a need. I think sex is a secondary need. I think a primary need for us is shelter and food. That's a primary need for us to survive and live and be a quote unquote 100%. Sex is not a primary need as a man. It's not. It's just our nature is to conquer as much as possible in our lifetime.
I won't push it too far though, because we are actually farmers. We biologically we need to plant seed.
No. Wait, let me finish. The whole point, part of the point that we were created, to me as a Christian, was to procreate. So I'm never gonna ever sit there and say that that's not a part of what we are and who we are. Usher said that's what it's made for. I agree. My only thing is that it's not a primary need for us to be at 100%. That's a lie.
Okay.
So
That's a lie.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why you support polygamy is because of that.
Not necessarily. I support it because for a man, we don't need feelings necessarily to have sex. And that's why polygamy will work.
Can I indirectly
That kind of sounds like sociopathic, you know.
Maybe it is.
To a woman though.
Maybe it is.
I am a woman,
I also,
so
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I
Did you just say sociopath?
Back then.
Yo!
I'm gonna.
To a woman, that's
I
what
mean,
she
but
said.
when you think about it, when you're
From a woman's perspective, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Because
I gave an example last time, and I'm going to repeat that example. There was this couple that were married, okay? The wife was always accusing the husband of having or wanting to have too much sex. So she took it to the church and reported it to the pastor. The pastor said, "Oh, sister, if that's the problem, that means me and your husband have the same demon." Okay? So because he also likes sex and wants to have
They
sex
should
all the
close
time.
that church.
but that's the pastor.
They should close the church.
And is the pastor does the pastor abstain from sex or is it
No, the pastor is saying that he also wants sex a lot of time. This woman, the husband always has sex.
That's like every woman is
So
congregation right now.
she said her husband has sociopathic problems, and she went and reported him to the pastor. The pastor said, "Oh, that means I have the same demon as your husband." Look, hold on.
You hear what she said after she said that? She said,
Okay, so no. There was something. Let me go back to the sports one. You know, where
because
said
this one, that one they help you.
when you said men need to refrain from sex to perform at 100%, I'll prove something to you.
but wait, hold what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, you might be watching this, so what is this guy talking about? This was inspired by a previous episode that we did about
side
chicks. And then we had a lot of comments and we decided to bring in a woman and then we call it polygamy now versus monogamy because a lot of people were calling us polygamous fools there. So that's why this came up over your career.
I think they really just meant whores.
hell, she did kill.
I'm just saying, like, because it wasn't, since it wasn't about marriage,
Hold
it
on,
was a side
excuse my
chick
sister.
thing.
I'm from Nigeria. What is horse?
Ashawo.
Ashawo.
Oh, okay.
Male
Okay.
Ashawo.
Male Ashawo. Okay.
Here's
Oh, yo, did she
Can
call
I say
you male
something?
Ashawo?
No, she did not call me. Did you call me that?
No, I didn't call you
Oh, she
that.
said she
I'm
was
just
supposed to
saying
be
that.
Why are you trying to put words?
She called you worse, bro.
Well, I've explained I am sociopath because I want sex a lot, right? That's why I'm a sociopath.
I don't know.
Is that why? Because I want it more than
But he might like sex more than you.
But didn't we just do an episode now where you kept hammering sex?
I didn't.
You.
I don't know.
LD.
What?
Okay, let's get back to the topic.
We're talking about 7 minutes.
No. Let's get back to it.
Hold on.
Monogamy and polygamy is the point of this topic.
Yeah.
I've mentioned one thing that we kind of do a lot when we're talking about relationships and the flaws in relationships. We keep emphasizing sex all the time as if that is the only reason why a man will stray from a relationship.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, that seems like the case.
Yeah.
That's only the result of why the man strays. To be quite honest, I don't.
Is it only the man? What about the woman?
Same thing,
Okay.
right? We always use sex as the foundation of why somebody will seek outside.
That's true.
That's not really always
That's
the
not what
case.
it's about all the time.
That's to me, sex is the finalization of some kind of connection.
Okay, can I ask you a
Right?
question? Can I ask you a
So-
question?
I'm gonna go. Can I go after you when you're?
No, hold on.
Go after me.
So
Go before.
let's stop putting it out there like this guy's straight because he wanted to go and get sex.
Okay.
No, he might probably straight
There might be a lot of reasons.
and ended up making that full connection, which is sex. If that makes sense.
I know a friend of
But
mine.
according to
I know a friend of
Sociopath.
mine.
Mike, it's not really a
Let me
connection.
tell you something.
It's just a release.
No, hold on.
Okay.
It's your turn. You go ahead.
No, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I don't know if are you guys are theater people? Are you guys familiar with Fences? The play Fences.
Yes.
So basically, the man is married to a woman for 18 years. After 18 years, in the midst of that, he's been having an affair with another woman, and it has nothing to do. He's getting the sex and whatever he wants, but it's not always about that with us. Even though the sex is important to us, it's not always about that. It's also about the mental, not the intercourse, the interaction, the discourse
It is.
that you have. It's for me, it's really important because I'm not saying I can have sex with any woman, but
When you connect with that one though,
it's the different discussion.
Yo.
Especially if you've experienced it. That's another thing too. So I think that for me personally, don't get it twisted, I have my whole ways. But when it comes down to something for
can you say
real,
it louder?
I have my whole ways. So but I'm gonna finish right now. But I think that we kind of I agree with LD because it's true. We always talk about, oh, I want to go and sleep with this person, this person. For me, if I'm gonna be doing that, I might as well just be single and be having sex with everybody.
Okay.
So
Can I ask you?
Go ahead. Go finish.
The question I want to ask you guys now is this: why do you think men go into polygamy? I know why my grandfathers went into polygamy.
I know my grandfather went to polygamy. I can answer you right. I can answer you right now.
Okay.
I can answer you right now if you want me to answer you.
The grandfathers, I know why they went into, because those days they needed more women to have more children to have them in the family.
That's not why my grandfather did polygamy.
Okay, that's why my grandfather.
My grandfather did polygamy because my grandfather was also an only child like I am. So he wanted to have more dukes, as he called it. He wanted to have more children. He grew up alone, like I did. So he wanted to have more kids. My other grandfather, he was just affluent.
And also, let me say,
So everybody has their own reasoning.
Your other grandfather was just a child.
He just, I don't know what, because I don't know his thing. But I know my other grandfather was because of the fact he was only
I
child.
was given why most men those days were polygamists.
Makes sense.
Is because they needed to have more people to help them work.
it does make sense.
Yeah.
If you look at where polygamy
makes
happens
sense.
here,
Yeah,
which is the whole point of why. So let me say this.
So on that note, my question is this: what is the reason why this modern society should still practice?
Let me-
Can I hit y'all with some statistics?
No,
Quick?
no, chill. Yes, I'm gonna answer the question. I want to say something. Do you want to say something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just a perfect example. Tiger Woods, when all that saga with him and I guess it came down to about 20 women, right?
That's a lot.
Okay. It would be considered polygamy if he was married to all of them, right?
Was
But
it
if
with
I
just
said,
women?
well,
He was gonna
close or even more,
Sure.
it would be considered polygamy, right? If he was married, right?
The
But
baddest
let me
one.
tell you something. Look,
No, but if you mean
I said it would be
if
considered
he's
polygamy, right?
married to all
But
20
what he was doing indirectly, even though is considered polygamy because he was like, although without marriage to 20 women.
That's what
My
polygamy is.
point.
I mean,
my
but you
point.
can't, you can't
what-
say
let
it's what
me-
he was doing if it was, because it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
If
polygamy.
there was marriage to it, what I'm saying is that as a man,
No.
look, why?
He was being.
Let me tell you why most men, most men stay in an unhappy marriage. One, money. They can't do any better. If you have the kind of money that Tiger Woods had, I don't care what society you're from, you will have more than one woman to mess around with.
So,
Tell me anybody on the order of Tiger Woods.
Let me say
you want to
this.
mention Bill Gates?
No, hold up.
You want to
Hold up,
mention
hold
Steve
up.
Jobs?
Chill. I will say this. 99.999% of the time, I will not disagree with you. I will not disagree with you. But there's
this
that.
one you
There's,
will,
no.
Okay.
No, I will agree with you that 99.999% of the time, that is what rich men are doing. Let's just not make that. And even rich women, same thing. Let's not front. But
I don't agree with that.
okay, you can come back when you're done. But the fact that there's that 0.0001 that don't do it, I can't say everyone. But here's one question I will ask. Because we talk about polygamy, why then and why now. I'll say two things about then. Number one, then, the role of a woman was not above a man. Then, when a man married more than one woman, one woman, all those women
We're
were under him, right?
For
That's one.
provision.
Number two, back then when they say you are married, it is a family gives you to a man, you are married. It is not like how we consider marriage right now, from my perspective. Back then, when the family sees this is a wealthy man, the family gives the daughter to the wealthy
Even
man.
till today, they still do it even in Africa.
Exactly, that still happens.
They give
right?
women to presidents.
So let's not villainize the man as if he went out there and picked all these women. The truth is, sometimes families submitted their daughters
They still do
to
it
be.
till
Can
today,
you not
till
say
tomorrow.
no?
No, hold up. He can say no, but I'm just saying.
Why would you
say no to
Hold up,
a
hold up,
nice
hold up.
gift?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
If I give you
Let
no,
me finish now.
If I give you, would you say no?
So the fact that I've said those two things, the fact that a woman was basically automatically submissive to a man as one of her husband or one of his wives, in this modern society, I'ma just look straight into the camera and say this. I don't know which man in his sane mind in an affluent society wants to actually marry more than one woman. I just don't understand how in life you want to do that.
Can I
Because it's already tough enough. There are already things stacked against you as the husband for you to want to go and marry five.
Can I just say something?
And you come in, yes. And you go ahead.
The reason why let me be honest with you.
Why are you looking at me like that? You're looking at me.
I'm not even.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was
Your conscience is just like. Hey, your
Exactly.
conscience is serious.
Exactly. We have to have position, right?
Let me just say this.
Okay,
Let me say
go
this.
ahead.
Everybody that's against polygamy, I completely understand. What polygamy didn't affect me in a positive way, but it also did affect me in a positive way. So there are two sides to it because I have more support. Especially being the only child, I do have some more support as a family unit. But what I will say is, the reason why I am a proponent for polygamy a little bit is because when I look at the African American community, you may argue, you may yell, they may fight me, they may tweet about me, I don't care. My point is, what is the percentage of us as African American men that are in jail? That's one. That are in a position to raise families. To me, the reason why I said we should consider it, I'm not saying it's the answer, but look at our situation.
Would you agree that actually causes more problems?
Can I just say
It is actually more disastrous
Hold on.
because you have more children born out of bullshit.
And
But-
men that
but you
can't
know what?
afford to
But-
take
but-
care
but
of
you know
one,
what?
much less the two.
If you could though, because when I lived in Nigeria too, it's not like I just America. I lived in Nigeria, seen polygamy actually work. So it's not like I
The village.
in a village. I know in a more no. I get you. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
In a
village
simplistic
setting. Hold on.
environment.
Utah, that's an
In a more
America.
simplistic
An
environment.
American village.
You said that you saw polygamy actually work.
Yeah.
But
From the outside is what it's about.
you were looking from the outside in. You were not in. Because you're looking at it as if it's working, but you didn't ask any of those women what their life.
Can I piggyback off what you just said though?
Yes.
But
Which woman do you think, I don't care what society you live in, actually wants to be a possession amongst other possessions of one man?
no, there is.
I actually loves that.
With that one,
It's a lie, Joe.
Hold on.
Let the lady answer. That's why she's in this show.
I think like with that one, it all depends on the women. I'm sure they're
That's
not
what I'm trying
looking.
to say.
I'm sure they're not looking at themselves as possessions of the man, but just a new addition to the family or whatever. I don't know. I think the most important question probably would be how the first wife feels about the other ones. Because the other ones, they already know that he's married, they already know the deal. So how does the second wife feel about being number two? Because at the same time, there's also a hierarchy.
Are we done with this
No,
topic?
I was like, no, you can't start with me.
Okay, hold on.
Including-
Okay, this is House of Commons. Can we please start with LD?
I would just make it simple. First and foremost, the value of marriage. When marriage is right, when marriage is done right, the foundation is love. I think one of the questions we should ask ourselves is, in this polygamous family, what is this based on? Is this based on this man loves these women equally, which can never be the case? Is it based on what he said, providing for the family, whatever the case may be? When marriage is done right, marriage is based on love. That should be the foundation. I love this person. I want to grow old with this person, right? If that is the foundation of marriage, which it should be, there's no way polygamy will make sense. There's absolutely no way it can actually make logical sense for you to love more than one person.
Right.
Now here's what I'll say. When monogamy and polygamy are not the topic, and we're just talking about one man and multiple women, I love the ladies, but women are a lot of work for a man. I'm just saying that. So I can't see us having enough strength to actually.
It's a lot. Man.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
What I will say though is.
Okay.
Hold up. What I will say though is, we should step away from the pressure of a man has to be with one woman, because I think the pressure is the reason why men fail to do that.
You said what?
I'm serious.
Hold on.
I think so. No. Let me say it again. Let me say it again.
You are indirectly contradicting yourself.
No.
Yes, actually.
No, no.
You are.
Because you're saying there's a lot of work.
Okay, see, but
but then
what
at the same
you're
time,
doing here,
please
what
give me
you-
permission.
Did you say? Did you hear what I said? Is a lot of work.
Yes, what you're doing
Polygamy
here.
is
Hold on.
You know what you're
Said
doing here?
women.
You're doing what we do, rigmaroling with
Wash,
grammar.
I'm not rigmaroling anything. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen again. I said I don't know how any man would say polygamy would work, because one woman is already a lot of work. So I don't understand how you would say that will work. Is what I said.
Yes,
And
but
I
then
said
you said then that they should remove the pressure of trying to force men to be with one woman.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Oh, okay, speak your grammar.
You should stop the pressure of selling it to men as a failure, because that's usually when men fail. When you keep pressuring, when you advertise men as they're dogs, this is what they want to do.
You know what you just
That's
said?
when what?
You know, you just rephrased what I said.
I think what he's
Do you get what I'm saying?
I think what he's saying is
Of
that
course.
there's this
There's
this idea of men, the ego of
Exactly.
a man to go out and chase
And fail.
women.
Exactly.
So all that should be, removed. And I get that because
Exactly.
I have a friend of mine his father calls him a one burner because he only dates one woman, but the other one has, many
Exactly.
girls, but that's like the one burner is the bad thing.
Exactly.
So him calling him a one burner, is that in a negative
It's
way?
a joke.
Yeah,
Like,
You
it's
should
in a negative
be
way.
having
You
more.
should be happy.
Wow, his father's putting him under pressure.
Yeah, I think that's
Wow.
what he means.
He's calling his kindness weakness.
Exactly.
Yes.
And also
Okay.
stop advertising the guy as a
Okay,
villain, because that's
okay.
usually when they do
Okay,
villain
let's
stuff.
go. Let's go. Ike.
Okay, my conclusion. This episode of what we do here, it's not necessarily saying that I support you going out and cheating or whatever. Look, whatever works for you, do it. Whatever makes you happy, do it. I've met
If you're not hurrying anyone.
I've met females
Impossible.
that said what will make her happy if the guy is a provider of all her needs. That's what will make her happy. Now, in that setting, if she is provided everything she wants, okay, and the guy is doing that for more than one woman, so what? She's happy.
Chief,
He's
not lie.
happy.
Is
No.
it lie?
Relax. See, love.
He's actually saying the truth because I've met a lot of women.
Is it lie?
And I don't know say as long as he provides what I need, he can do whatever he wants.
Lies.
Let me.
There are
That is so true.
Yeah.
So whatever floats your boat, who are you to point fingers and say, look, because you are dating more than one woman, then that means you're not a good man. You don't love her. No, it's not true.
Okay.
I wouldn't say you don't love her.
Okay.
Look,
Is that your conclusion?
and let me finish now.
Okay, finish. Okay.
Okay? You won't force me to. Okay, look. Well, basically, but as a man though, you guys might stay here and say X, Y, Z. I know you guys personally, and I know what you do in your personal life.
You don't know me? Let's get that clear right now. Nah, B. Let's look in the camera and say that again.
Oh,
Hell nah, B.
I know this man.
Okay, all right, what do you do?
I know you love.
Okay, what do you
Well,
do?
you, so I'll leave it at that. I know you very well. I know you too.
And me?
You are rigmarolling.
Stop beg. Look,
You
man.
are rigmarolling.
If you really want to know the answer to this,
Okay.
go back and watch an episode.
let's go to
How
this.
many dates before sex?
Hold on,
Then you will know the truth.
Shut up.
Lying guys.
Let's go to your conclusion. Hey, let's go to your conclusion, please.
You guys are funny, man.
Okay.
No, but just to conclude, polygamy. I definitely see the negatives to it, but I definitely see some potential positives too. Like anything, a lot of the things that you guys are saying, as far as a negative with polygamy. Let me be honest. I know people who were in monogamous relationships that
are miserable.
it was more stressful than marrying 20 wives. One wife.
Yes.
Was more.
But that's only
I'm
because
telling
they
you.
picked the wrong person.
No, exactly. So why should you justify that monogamy is good? It's the best. It's not the best.
It's not because
I'm sorry.
Hold on, baby. Let me finish.
I know people personally that come on, y'all.
Go ahead. I'll let him finish. Okay, go ahead. Let him
That
finish.
married one person, but the amount of stress and frustration that they receive from that one individual, the amount of energy, negative energy that they receive from that one individual, surmounted anything that even 15 to 25 wives could ever do.
You are so true. And it's both ways though. It's not only a man, it's also for a woman marrying a man and being stressed.
Okay.
True or false?
So
Very true.
when we look at the positives and negatives of things, I get what everybody's saying. Honestly, to be real with you, polygamy, especially in the context of this society, it's not gonna happen. Marriage is barely happening as we speak. So
Talk less of two.
we're just talking about hypothetical situations that
Okay.
more likely aren't gonna happen. But
Well,
I was
let's
just saying.
pass to go and get.
I was just all I
one
was just
person.
saying is that if it to me because of the state of our people maybe it may be something that we could consider. I may be wrong, I may be right, whatever. That's just my
Okay,
point.
thank you, my sister. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really wanted to touch on that earlier,
Okay,
but
okay,
it kind of passed us. The African American community does not need polygamy.
That's like
Hmm.
worst thing
At
you
all.
actually need.
First of all, we need to start with just the monogamy. You know, practice that for a bit. You know, once that starts going well, then maybe adding on. It is not like the salvation because, you know, men are in jail and all that stuff. That's like a different political issue, that marrying more than one person in a poor, undereducated community, polygamy will only add problems.
None of them are poor, by the way.
Most of, in these communities.
And it is a numbers game too, by the way.
In
so-
these communities that you're speaking of, where it's like the men are gone and there's the lot more women,
they are gone.
Okay, yeah. In most of those communities are poor. I'm not saying it's just blacks or whatever, but most of those
Yeah, there's a
communities are
national
poor.
divide.
Yeah, black or white, poor and undereducated in a lot of the cases.
I just want to correct her conclusion though.
Hold on.
In the whole
hold
black
on.
community.
Hold on, bro.
The
can
majority
you-
of the men are gone.
Hold on.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Not just the
But-
poor ones.
Okay.
The whole one.
The whole one.
Okay.
But see, but that's the thing, right? Okay, the poor ones, half of them are poor or rich, they're gone. But however, the majority of the ones that are gone are still poor. And we can agree on that, yeah?
No.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
But and so with that, that ratio, I'm just saying that it's not the solution to that problem. Separately, if you can afford to take care of multiple wives and those wives have no issue with it and the law where you live says it's okay, then that is, that's your business.
Oh,
as a
snap.
boss.
Oh, hey.
You say?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Well,
Okay.
But that's the thing where it's a consenting adults type situation.
Right.
So whatever people want to do in that
What's your
sense,
vote?
right, then that's okay. Personally, it won't happen for me.
True.
I won't allow
Yeah,
it.
keep it.
Okay,
Teach us
my
how.
conclusion, right?
To his own.
My conclusion is this. I don't support polygamy. I will never support polygamy. I'm going to live the same way my father lived until he died. If I do get married, when I do get married, it's going to be only one woman and that's all I want to marry.
You have a child?
Huh?
We have a side chick.
You say what?
We have a side chick.
We have a side chick. Oh, Bill, you have a side chick.
Would I have a side chick? Why would I have a side chick? Okay, hold on. Jokes
Is that how your father lived? Did your
No,
father
my
have a
father,
side chick?
my father was a very gentle, honest,
Okay.
man with integrity, and he died like that. Yes.
Okay.
So I won't have a side chick to answer your question. But on that note, House of Commons, I don't support polygamy, and this is it.
But do you know?